back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to head back to December 1st of last year for a little action movie. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, shameless plug, as always, for my TeePublic page. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And today we're going to talk about John Woo's first American film since 2003. And that film is Silent Night. Yes, this came out December 1st of last year. It's rated R. It's an hour and 44 minutes long. Had a budget, from what I found, about $30 million, and upon release, it only made 11.1. This is John Woo's first American film since 2003, when he directed Paycheck with Ben Affleck. If you've ever seen that film, obviously his American films were Hard Target, Broken Arrow, which I like both those films, Face Off, which I absolutely adore. He did Wind Talkers, then he did Paycheck, and then he went back to his homeland to continue making movies, but he's come back to America, and we'll see how he's done. Now, in this film, the only actor I'm really going to mention, because he is in the whole film, is Joel Kinnaman plays Brian, his father, who we see right in the beginning of the film chasing down this SUV and this car that are firing at each other, gang turf war kind of stuff, and he ends up getting shot in the throat, ends up in the hospital, and this is where we start seeing pieces of what happened, what led Brian to this part. He's playing outside with his kid. It's Christmas Day, and a drive-by goes by, and his son gets killed. And now Brian is not only trying to recover because he can't speak because he got shot in the throat, although nobody really speaks. I think only a few words are spoken through the whole film besides auditory noises like gunfire and radio and TV reports and stuff like that, and music. Other than that, there's no speaking in this film. That's why it's called Silent Night. So dialogue is bare minimum, like not even relevant to even talking about this film. And basically what we see is over the next year, Brian pushing his wife away while he trains. First of all, he goes through depression, alcoholism, and then he starts working out and getting prepared to take his revenge on this gang who took his son from him and his wife. Eventually, his wife leaves him because he's totally pushed her away, not letting her in on what he's thinking. And pretty much the next Christmas, Brian goes out to act revenge and his master plan to take out these gangs. And what we see is pretty much typical revenge story stuff. It's nothing groundbreaking here. I mean, it's a tried and true genre of filmmaking, revenge story, and that's what this is. John Woo basically came back to America to give us a straight up death wish kind of film. That's pretty much what, or Punisher, even like The Punisher. This is pretty much like a version of The Punisher almost. And I like those kind of films. And you know what we get when Brian starts enacting his revenge is a lot of action. The last part of the movie is a lot of action. Sloppy action. Brian's not a trained killer. I mean, he does train for the year leading up to hatch his plan. But Brian's not ex-military or ex-cop, so he has no training. He's learning from square one. So when he does get into these situations where he's trying to kill someone, it's very sloppy. He gets hurt a lot. But, you know, at the end of the day, he does exact his revenge, and that's pretty much Silent Night, although he does die at the end. What to like about this film? Well, I think Joel Kinnaman really throws himself into the role. He definitely worked out and got in shape for this role. He definitely emotes what he needs to without verbalizing here. I bought his performance and everybody else, but he is the star of this movie. He executive produced this film as well. His first time executive producing a film. And with John Woo back in America, you don't get no flying doves here. There is a bird at one part of this movie, and you'll know when you see it, but there's no flying doves here like we got in Face Off and other films that he did for American audiences. But, you know, we get some cool camera work here. There's some cool action scenes. So at the end of the day, I like some of that stuff for absolutely, but let's get into the negatives here. This is definitely not John Woo's best work, unfortunately. This is not his triumphant return to American cinema, at least in my opinion. It's okay. The action here goes from pretty cool to just standard action stuff. There's nothing groundbreaking here. There's nothing we haven't seen John Woo do better in other films. Especially, I just recently rewatched Face Off a couple weeks ago in 4K from Kino Lorber, which if you like that film, that 4K is definitely worth picking up. And yes, that movie's more over the top. It's more exaggerated. This film's going for more realism, although there's still some over the top elements, of course, as in any John Woo film. But there's no action scene here that even gets close to that film, or Hard Target with Van Damme, or Broken Arrow. It's all like, it's okay. But it's nothing John Woo's given us way better in the past. So, unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, this is not John Woo's triumphant return to American cinema. And the no talking thing, while at first I was on board for it, as the movie progresses, and this movie's an hour and 44 minutes long, it's a novelty, and it wears itself very thin by the halfway point of the film. This is something you try on a short film. For a feature-length film, it made no sense why nobody else talked throughout the film. It made sense why Brian didn't talk. If they would have stuck with that, because he got his throat shot and he lost his ability to talk, and Joel Kinnaman does well here with all that, there's no reason or no justifiable reason for everybody else not to talk in this film. It really, and by the halfway point, I was sick of it, this novelty of nobody talking. It really got on my nerves at that point. So yeah, that was a downer. It didn't work enough to sustain a full feature-length film. This is, like, again, this is something to do with a short film, not a feature-length film. It just becomes annoying. You want people to say things. Again, the main character, Brian, we understand why he's not talking. He's not vocalizing what he's feeling because he can't. But everybody else, it makes no goddamn sense here. It just seems like it's pointless here. And it was easy on the screenwriter because he didn't have to write no dialogue. But as a narrative film, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it gets very annoying. Like, again, about halfway through, I was over the whole no talking thing. At the end of the day, this is a standard action movie. Yeah, there's some cool action beats, and John Woo does some cool things with the camera, but it's nothing we haven't seen before from John Woo. And it's not like I was expecting something groundbreaking here, but I just wanted that old school John Woo film. This, sadly, is not it. It's enjoyable enough. It's entertaining enough to watch it. I would recommend giving it a watch if you're a John Woo fan. But I think by the end of the film, you're going to see that this is not top-tier John Woo stuff. We've seen his better films have come in the past, unfortunately. And I'm a John Woo fan. But yeah, at the end of the day, I would give Silent Night a 6 out of 10. Which I've been doling out that rating a lot lately. I don't know why, but it's just where we're landing on these folks. 6 out of 10 for Silent Night. Have you seen this one yet? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with the review for Cutting Class. But until next time, bye.